in their theology, God talks to them all the time. So God will give you a word of knowledge about someone's bum toe out in the audience, but does not give you a heads up about what is going on in the lives of your closest friends. So that's one difference. We don't make that claim that God is speaking to us. We don't make that claim. They do. And the other difference, in our circles, in our camp, you disqualify yourself sexually, you commit adultery as a preacher in our camp, you're done. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your name is. You're done. Doesn't mean you can't be forgiven. Doesn't mean you can't be restored to fellowship with the local church. But you're no longer behind the pulpit. Ever. In the charismatic movement, you do that in the charismatic movement, you might take a little break. You might be off for a few months or a couple of weeks. Sometimes not even that. You're right back in the preaching saddle. Not in our camp. Rightly so. Rightly so. Oral Roberts, Kenneth Hagin, Kenneth Copeland. Oral Roberts, the world's most famous faith healer until Benny Hinn came on the scene. Kenneth Hagin, the father of the modern Word of Faith movement. And Kenneth Copeland got his beginning from listening to Oral Roberts and being a pilot for Kenneth Hagin and Oral Roberts. And Kenneth Copeland today, he's kind of like the grand poobah of the Word Faith movement, the health and wealth prosperity gospel. Kenneth Copeland, and I do not say this with any hyperbole at all, I genuinely believe that Kenneth Copeland is demon-possessed. I genuinely believe that. I don't think they all are. I think they're all false teachers. But I don't think they're all demon-possessed. Kenneth Copeland, I do. Because Kenneth Copeland has uttered some of the most blood-curdling blasphemies and heresies ever to cross the lips of someone who even tangentially claims to be a Christian. And he claims for those heresies, the source of those heresies, God himself. And honestly, there's just something about the man's eyes. If you've ever watched Kenneth Copeland, you know what I'm talking about. There's just something about the guy's eyes. I really believe he's demon-possessed. He's one of the darkest individuals ever to disgrace the name of Christ. Now, I want to show you this video clip. This is from Kenneth Copeland and Oral Roberts. This is from back in the 1980s, late 1980s. But they are at the Southwest Believers Convention. I call it the Southwest Unbelievers Convention because this is their annual shindig, their big conference that they do in July or August every year in Fort Worth, Texas. And what you're about to witness is kind of like it was the passing of the baton from Oral Roberts to Kenneth Copeland. I want you to watch this. And before I play it, though, I want to show you this text because it's pertinent to what we're about to see. In Acts chapter 3, Peter and John went up together into the temple at the hour of prayer, being the 9th hour. And a certain man, lame from his mother's womb, was carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple, which is called Beautiful, to ask alms of them that entered into the temple. Now I'm reading from the King James because that's going to be important in a second. Who, seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, asked an alms. And Peter, fastening his eyes upon him with John, said, "Look on us." Remember that phrase, "look on us." And he gave heed unto them, expecting to receive something from them. Then Peter said, "Silver and gold have I none." Remember that phrase. "But such as I have, give I to thee. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk." Remember those two phrases. Look on us, silver and gold have I none. And with that in mind, I present to you Kenneth Copeland and Oral Roberts.
Brother Copeland, would you come and stand in my place? Gloria, would you come and stand in Evan's place? Evan, would you come stand by me? Now, Brother Copeland and your dear wife, Gloria, would you look at us? Look on us. Hey. Silver and gold have we plenty.
Look on us. Silver and gold have we plenty. Peter writes of false teachers, in their greed, they will exploit you with false words. These are not true apostles. These are false apostles. When you look through the history of the charismatic movement, the people who they call God's generals, to a man, to a woman, they were heretics, they were prolific false prophets, con artists, most of them sexually immoral. It's not a good history. If the roots of a tree are bad, guess what else is going to be bad? The fruit. The fruit's going to be bad. And there is not one single charismatic theological distinctive that in any way forwards the gospel. Now, don't misunderstand me. Am I saying all charismatics are lost? I am not saying that. What I am saying, however, is there is not one single charismatic distinctive that in any way forwards the gospel of Jesus Christ.